Hi, everyone. This is DearMamaSal, and the reason I'm not fully opening the cupboard at the moment is I want to make sure you all know that I have a nightmare behind me. As you know, I moved out of my house after the fire and then had things in storage. And then my biggest concern was, would I be able to find my Christmas baking stuff? I did. And what I wanted to show you is just what a nightmare that looks like, and I'm not even sure I've found it all. So this should come with a warning, if you've got children in the room, you don't want to scare them. But here we go. This is what my Christmas baking looks like, the stuff that I've already found, and there may be more. All right, so do any of you relate? What I wanted to do was to say hi, and I just realized that I went to all the trouble of finding my Christmas ears for you. And you can't see them, but you probably will as I walk around, right? Uh, so here we go. What I wanted to do is to, between tonight and probably sometime during the week, I wanted to talk about various things. Obviously, I've got to downsize it all, right? And I've got some boxes ready to do that. But what I wanted to show you is this is what a nightmare can look like, okay? And you can't even see it all because there's stuff in the corner there. So, yes, oh my, Jeannie, you're right. And I just wondered if any of you can relate. Hi, Emma. Good to see you, honey. Happy holidays to you. So, what I was going to do was to, number one, talk through why I've got what I've got, because you know me, I've always got a good reason for it. The second thing is talk about how to declutter it. And then, with your help, I want to know, can you think of great ways for me to use up things rather than throw them away? Because, that would be a terrible waste. I've spent a lot of money getting these things. The other thing is, what I want to talk about is how much of this stuff is made of pure sugar, in which case it's going to last forever. Do any of you relate to that? All right. So it's a case of, if it's made of sugar, and Jody, just to give you a heads up, and I might need somebody to back Jody up here so we can do a bit of research. For example, Jody, just while I'm talking, could you just quickly find out for me what sprinkles are made of? I'm talking these sort of things. Is this made of pure sugar or is it made of artificial stuff? And how long can it last? Does anybody know? I know it probably tells you best before, but that's not necessarily the truth, is it? I just couldn't see on here, um, what the best before date was. My feeling is that they probably last for the longest time. If you've got any little bits left over in your jam jar, Christmas baking is a great time to finish them up. All right. Make one extra shortbread cookie and throw some of it in the center. That's the other thing. Guess what I found? Candy canes that had melted. Now, I'm pretty sure that they're still sealed. Actually, I've just unsealed it now because I wanted to see what it was like. But what I wanted to show you was what is inside peppermint sugar. All right, so thanks, Jeannie. I appreciate that. Let's see what you both said. All right, so Jody's saying they're both made of sugar, corn syrup, cornstarch, shortening, food grade wax, and artificial coloring and flavors. So, what is our view? Are sprinkles like sugar? They can basically last forever. Now, the melted candy cane, I already have some ideas as to what to do with that, but can you understand? They're good. Thank you. Jody's saying sprinkles are good, but 3 to 5 years after their best by date. Well, as I can't even see a best by date, something tells me No, this I don't see a Best Buy date on. All right, so we're going to presume these, and I'm not going to kill anybody with these. All right, now then, my my drooping candy cans, they taste really good. So I'm thinking, great thing to put on some of the Christmas cookies. Or what about in my coffee? Okay, what have I got? Sugar and red gel flavoring. I reckon we can get away with it. We're going to do a basic recipe in a minute, but first of all, let me show you what I found. And please laugh with me, all right? I have an automatic cookie maker. Never been very good at using it, and I know you all want me to. But I've got a bag with about 50 different, probably 30 different shapes that I can do. I haven't found the bag with all the different things, but luckily the one thing that's in there is that one. Jody's saying I have candy canes in my coffee or cocoa. That's what I'm thinking. And there's a reason why I'm pleased to hear that, Jody. I found quite a few of them. All right, so I will be having some in. I'm glad you guys are laughing with me. All right. All right, so where are we? Oh, yes, exactly. Jeannie's saying candy cans be mashed up and put into drinks and cookies and so forth. I'm thinking I might even drizzle some on top of some cookies, right? Now, how many of you heard me say on Friday? I think some of that went in my coffee. I got to find out. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's what I thought. I've now got coffee infused with jerky. How many of you on Friday heard me talk about? I was thinking about trying jerky. I must warn you to be careful because I did. Here it is, and it is so good. Anybody want to know how difficult it was? Oh, interesting. Jeannie's saying sometimes she put melted candy cans, Jeannie, on peanuts, on presents. Oh, yes. I do that when they're not drooping. That's what they were for. I quite agree. When I wrap presents, I put a candy cane in. Absolutely. That's what they were going to be for. But they melted. So anybody want to know? Okay, so simple. Here you go. Take some steak, or and basically the leaner the cut of beef, the better. By the way, it doesn't have to just be beef. So I'm not going to have to eat this now on principle. So what you do is get it, and do you know that beef you always cut against the grain, cross grain? Do you know what I mean? If you look at if you look at the strands in beef, they go in a certain way. When you cut it, cut across those, not with them. Now, the reason I say that is because when you start cutting up steak, you'll forget, how do I cut this? So just look how the strands go. If the strands go this way, cut against them, not with them. Why? it will be much more tender. So the first thing I did was to cut bits up into small, about 1 inch chunks. And then I cut those chunks. Why did I make them so small? I wanted them to be bite-sized. Okay? So that was the easy bit. I then put them on a baking sheet and I cooked them at 350 for about 10 minutes. And I just turned them over to make sure what I was looking for. I wanted to make sure there was no red left on the meat. Makes sense? Very easy. No red left in the meat. And by the way, even by that stage, they smelled wonderful. Now, I forgot to start by telling you that I marinated. If you remember, I marinated that meat I was working with. And I marinated it with soy sauce, Leon Perrin's Worcestershire sauce, and I mention the name because I want you to know whatever I did tasted so good. I threw in a little bit of hot sauce or some chili pepper, I think, in there. I put a lot of pepper, different Montreal steak spice, and a little bit of salt. So I marinated over just a few hours at least. Okay. Then I cooked it at 350 until there was no red for 10 minutes, they said. Very easy to do. Just turn it over once, make sure everything's cooked through. Then I did it in my toaster oven. Excuse me. I turned the toaster oven down to about 165, 170, somewhere around there. All right? And I just left it for literally, I would say about 3 or 4 hours was enough. And the good news is, as you can see, it is still very easily chewable, even for somebody with old teeth. Okay? But, I don't know why. There's something about doing that where the taste of it absolutely pops. So between the marinade and the beef, now, really good idea. It's not tough. I literally just broke that in my fingers. It's not tough. Great protein stacks for the, I think some more fell in my coffee. Nearly finished. But the problem with it is, that is now the second batch I've made. And I've eaten it all. That's the fun of Christmas stuff, right? All right. Now then, what I want you to see is where I hit the problem. I have got this many cookie cutters. By the way, somewhere there's a group of about 6 of those. I haven't found that yet. But these are the rest of the ones that I have found so far. How many do you really need? I then realized that I also have other cookie cutters. If you want to make big cookies, I like to use my hamburger press. In fact, I use my hamburger press quite a bit when I'm making Christmas baking. Why? Because you not only have, the big shape, but this bit is really nice to, actually I could do it this way, to push down your cookies if you want to, right, before you put the thing on it. So, but I notice I have got 2 of them. Do I need 2 hamburger presses? One is going away. Okay. What else do I use for a cookie cutter? I bake my bread in this sometimes to make pretty bread. But I also use that as a cookie cutter for obvious reasons. One thing I did do is I picked up some of these little containers that I'm going to be putting some cookies in or candies in, just so that you know that's what that is about. I do have a chocolate or batter type funnel, but that's very useful. I'm not getting rid of that. How many rolling pins have you guys got? All right, so Emma, you're saying Leon Perrins over cheese is great? Oh, it is. I agree. Welsh rabbit, they call it in England. So that's where I first came across it. Oh, but it's got a real kick to it. It's great. All right, so now then, how many rolling pins do you own, people? I want to know if I'm the only one. All right, Jody says she's got 2 rolling pins, 1 silicone and 1 French one. What's the French one made out of? Oh, maybe before I get onto rolling pins, how many of these do I really use? That is the question. And how much do we bake cookies these days? Is it once a year? All right. So it's a wooden one. It's a wooden, the French one is a wooden one, right? I just wanted to check because that could be a silicone one. Oh, the silicone one and a French one. Yeah, I understand. It's just like a piece of dowel. All right, so hang on a second. How many of these do I really need? But what I'm trying to do is to put all of those things into one container so I know these are all cookie cutter things. When I do the clean out, I'm just going to save a couple of them and the rest I'm going to donate to. What I like to do with kitchen stuff like this is we have an organization that helps immigrants coming in. And so I like to put all this stuff into a box and then give it to them to, give to people who've just arrived in the country. All right. So you all understand that is a bit of a problem. All right, let me put that away because you've seen that lot. By the way, if I say to you later, where did I put the cookie cutters? They're in the hallway. Emma's saying, do you have any gingerbread man cutters? Okay, let me tell you what I've got. I think I do. I've got small ones. I've got 2 different sizes of snowflakes, 2 different sizes of stars. Oh, maybe that's easier. Put it against the red. 2 different sorts of stars. 2 Christmas ornaments. You see that? Oh, wrong way up. 2 Christmas ornaments. Christmas trees. Christmas stockings. Mittens. Angels. Rocking horses. Bluebird of happiness. And lights. Everything except the one I probably would like, which is the gingerbread man. Okay, so before we make more mess, 1 second. But did anybody answer the question, how many cookies do you make on average? Yeah, the Christmas bulbs are quite cute, aren't they? All right, Jody's saying she loves the mitten ones as well. All right, so what I'm saying is, what we're saying is they are nice. All right? They're all nice, but maybe I keep the small sizes and give away the big ones. Right, so Jody's saying she makes about 4 or 5. Now I've got about 8 different, four or 5 different varieties, right, in shapes. So I've got about 8 there. So I could give half of these away and keep the big and the small ones of the other half. Agreed? That would be a great way to downsize it by half. Good. Again, if I ask you, where did I put the cookie cutters? Remind me. All right, now, you see, I keep things like this because I keep saying to myself, that's a perfect cookie cutter. I don't need those. I even keep, I've got cocktail sausage tins that I keep because they make a perfect cookie cutter. Yeah, they're going. And this one I've had with me forever. And it's good, as I said, more to the family. I just haven't found them yet. I will. They're here somewhere. Even more to find. All right, so, let's put that away. We've talked about the sprinkles. That's good. That away. This is probably, because I can bake a baguette in it and then cut these really pretty little shapes, or I can use it as a cookie cutter. This definitely stays in my kitchen because I use it all the time. All right, this hamburger press actually should be in the bottom drawer because I don't use it that often. Okay. Another comment for those of you who noticed that, or didn't notice, but heard about the fact that my air fryer stopped working after 2 weeks. I don't think that it was a bad air fryer. I think there was something just not wrong. That was wrong with that particular one. And the reason I say that is when I looked at all the different comments about it, nobody else seemed to have had the problem that I did. So just understand that. However, my workhorse toaster oven, which is underneath here, I just, in finding all the cookie stuff, I also found the rotisserie for this and the thing that pulls the rotisserie on and off. Basically, I've got everything that was in the other one except an air fry basket. And what I'm going to do is to measure the width of one of my pans and see if I can buy the basket. Because quite honestly, what is an air fryer? It is a convection toaster oven. This is a convection toaster oven, but it was called that, a rotisserie convection. They didn't call them air fryers in those days. So I already have an air fryer. I'm about to get $300 back, which I'm going to buy something else. All right, we're going to need those probably again, so we'll keep them. By the way, whenever you buy plastic bags, I always say this to you, buy as big a one. This was a mega pack of three lots together, and if you can, buy the ones that freezer bags, right? Because they are thicker, and it means you can wash them up and use them time and time again. All right. Now, we're going to talk. Oh, wait. Rolling pins. I talked to you on Friday that I didn't know where the rings were for my rolling pin. So this rolling pin is stainless steel. I love it. And if you want different depths, you can just put different discs on it. All right. I quite honestly just use it like this. It's got one disc on it, and it does just about everything. So just to let you know that. Have any of you ever seen this type rolling pin, which you're going, that would make such pretty Christmas cookies? Jody, I know you've got one. I've got one. What's the story? Would you buy one again? Do you think it was worth the money? Let's hear that. Jeannie is saying, today we went to buy Christmas luncheon plates. Lady heard that we lost our home by fire and rebuilt. She refused to take our money and gave us ornaments, 4 Christmas bowls. And I'm saying Merry Christmas. Isn't that nice? People are basically good. All right, so how many of you got one of these, and would you buy it again? I want to make sure that I am not alone in this. Do you want to see what it does? Or not to, is the case maybe? I just wonder whether anybody else has ever bought one. I don't know what they call them. I've got a feeling they come out of Europe. Do they work well? You see, that's what I think a lot of people ask. I've always wondered, and they are so pretty. Okay, I've got a bit of dough in the fridge. And I'm probably going to use this a couple of times, but I've just got a little bit of dough in the fridge here. And no, that isn't my dough. It just looks like my dough. Something else completely different. What did I do with it? There we go. All right, so I made some ginger dough, and it's fairly wet. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just roll it a little bit to see what happens. And then cookie cutter time, right? Duh. And of course I went for the plastic one. Isn't that funny? Mm. That's it. All right, let me see if you can see it, Emma. It's called an embossed rolling pin. Now, yes, they are European. That's what I thought. And I just think they are so pretty. So will I keep it? Yeah. So that stays. Definitely this one stays. This one I've probably had for 40, 50 years. No, as long as I've been in Canada, so nearly 40 years, I would think. It's going to go. This is my beater. It's quite honestly about the only time I use it is for Christmas stuff. And what do I use it for? Shortbread. And it was a present from a very dear friend of mine, and it's lasted me many, 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 many years. It's staying. However, I've just put it in my second drawer down. It doesn't belong there. It doesn't belong there. It's going to go after I put it there because I know I'm going to use it this week baking. All right. Now then. I also found out I've got about 8 boxes of cake mix because I was going to make cupcakes. Make sense? And so what I thought I'd show you is, here's an idea for wrapping. You might not use it this year, but maybe think about it. I bought some of these little containers that are really useful. But the reason I bought them was because I thought if I had a cupcake in here and put this on the top and then wrapped it in ribbon, we would actually have a really nice present that is usable. All right, so these little cups are usable for putting salt and pepper in while you're cooking, or little bits of stuff. But you've also got the cupcake inside, or the candies, homemade candies. Makes sense. So that's just an idea think about useful things to put things in rather than waste paper. Thank you very much, Emma. I appreciate the gift. All right, so just a thought. How many of you like that idea? Maybe it's 2 small plastic containers, that they can use. But think about that. All right. These I haven't used. I've got to be quite honest, but I'm pretty certain I will, just on principle. But you can actually make savory pop sticks. You actually put the pastry on here and put the meat in, close them. I should have had them the other day. You put your stick in here, your bamboo stick, wrap the stick with foil while you cook it so it doesn't burn, and then you've got a little savory cookie. That would be a really good idea for me to use up some stuff. All right. Now, can you also make sweet ones, little lollipops? Yep. I think I started to tell you I've got about 6 boxes of cake mix, and I'm thinking about making some cupcakes and or pops for people, just so I can start using that up. I know, Emma. Emma's saying so many gadgets I didn't even know existed, and we haven't come to the half of it yet. This is a really cool idea. It was one of the things that I had there. This, you can make a cupcake, and you can cut the center out of the cupcake and put jam or maybe custard or whatever you like inside, and then put the icing on top. And then it leaves this core of the cupcake, which you can then cover in chocolate. Clever? Not going anywhere. It's staying. Just not sure where. All right, here's the next thing. Over there, in front of my Keurig, I have got my one of my 2 fondue pots. I don't know where the other one is, but I don't use them necessarily for fondue, but I do use them at Christmas time. Why? I melt chocolate in them. So what I've got is water in the mini slow cooker underneath. So it's now a double burner. And I thought that could melt nicely while we're just chit-chatting. Emma's saying when you core that cookie, quality control, you should eat it, right? Okay, I'm with you on that one. All right, so let's just put this little bit of dough aside, because I'm going to use that in a second. You guys have seen me use these before, but I want to tell you something. These things save me a fortune in shrink wrap and things. Okay? Get them. All right. So better use of, how many of you have got a fondue pot but very rarely use it? I use mine as a double boiler, a nice small double boiler, not a big one. This is embarrassing. I'm hoping somebody will relate to this. Silicone cupcakes liners. Good quality ones, and then the not so good quality ones. paper cupcake liners. How many cupcake how many cupcake liners do you think I need? And they're all the same sort of basic shape, except some of the El Cheapo ones actually have some pretty designs on them. This is embarrassing. I agree, Emma. But you see, what I like to do is to let you know some of you are not alone. Right? And I can either say this is totally embarrassing, I wouldn't dare show it to the viewers, or to show you and go, what am I going to do about it? This is called downsizing. What am I going to do about it? I'm only going to allow myself to put at most half of it back into the baking box. Only half of it's going back. So every time I look at this, I go, you can keep half. Now, obviously, I'm going to keep the mason jars. But do I need all these paper cupcake holders? No. I've got a plethora of silicone ones. So all those can be donated. You see, Emma's saying, oh my cupboards are like something from a hoarding documentary. This is why I'm showing you. It's easy to do. So everything that's in here, with the exception of the mason jars, is going to get donated. Okay? These, I will keep the good quality ones and a couple of the ones where I like the design. Oh, by the way, I've got silicone. This is the next bit. Hang on a second. The next category. Let me put this one away. You see why I called it the Christmas baking nightmare. This is full of not only the cupcakes, but also silicone piping bags and plastic piping bags. How useful are piping bags? Very useful about twice a year. So I will probably keep the piping bags. Then I've got over and above, okay. Then I've got regular, what do you call them? Cupcake decorating set, a regular one. And then I have got the Russian one. Now, Jody knows about the Russian one because I was so excited about getting it last year. But the Russian one, this is very bad news for Sandy if she actually ends up. The Russian one does incredible things like this. Now, I have got, see, it's got all sorts of different. Now, I have got way too much cake mix, and I have got, as you're going to see, way too much chocolate and way too much sugar. So how many of you are going, I think I'm going to start doing a weekly thing with, such fun, right? Why don't I do one a week, when we do the cooking things? So, and I will fail miserably at a couple of them, but do we care? And it'll be my what do you call it? My treat, when I'm doing my meal prepping. So, how many of you are looking forward to that? This day. Then I found marshmallows, which I've been buying recently. I've got 1.5. Why do I have a half? I opened the packet. This one I opened as well by accident. So we got 1 and a bit there, 2, 3 bags of marshmallow, and also some marshmallow puff. Overkill? How sad. But why? What is my favorite Christmas treat to make? Chocolate dipped marshmallows. They're going to be, question, how long does marshmallow last? Anybody know? The reason I say is I also found a couple of stale ones. How long does marshmallow last? And did you know you can resuscitate it? Now, do I need to? Not really. So the chances are I will chop these ones up and put them inside a muffin or something. Make it, fun. But the rest I will use the normal way. I also use my marshmallows to make fudge. Do any of you do that? Right? So all I do, and I'll show you once the chocolate is melted, how I make instant fudge. Very easy to do. All right. All right. Now then, on my oven, just so that you can see. All right. Yeah, Jody's saying marshmallows last 6 to 8 months beyond the best buy date. So let's find out what was the best buy date on these. They're made of, Okay, let's find out. So I bought them in the last month. They say best before January 2022. Oh, June the 5th, 2022. Basically, I can use them all year. Hi, Sophie. Good to see you. So think about that. You can keep marshmallows in your cupboard. Try and keep them airtight. But even if they go hard, you can still use them. That's the point I wanted to make. Okay. I appear to have a collection of candied fruit. Okay, different sorts, different flavors. That's lemon and citrus. But first, and that's finely chopped up, and these are whole ones. So some can go on cookies. These are candied fruit. Jody, right? I think these basically, because they're candied, probably will last almost a lifetime. That's my sense. I'm sure we're about to find out. The trick is to actually, put them into smaller containers so they take up less room. Now in here, I've got 1,001 different coloring things. Okay. Jeannie's saying she uses marshmallows with corn and wheat chicks and pretzels to make a kind of bark. Yes, I'm going to talk about that in a second. Jeannie, if you just hold on, I'll talk about making bark. I've also got a number of these gel sparkle things. Oh, by the way, lots more sprinkles. But I've also got this sort of icing. I probably bought it last year when I was away from my house. But my senses, again, it probably doesn't go off. 2 years for the candied fruit, okay? So more sprinkles and treats in there. And what I've got them all in one container, all right, that just tells me that's what it is. That was meant to be in the container, so. Not those. Okay. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is I've got sugar. How long does sugar last? By the way, it's been in my deep freezer all year. Okay, so I You know something, I have to tell the truth on that one. Emma's asking me, did I use a recipe for my ginger dough? No, I didn't. I literally, I will tell you in a second. Well, let me tell you. I started with an egg because I know it needs egg in it. No, did I start with an egg? I think I did. And then I threw in lots of the seasonings, you know, the ginger, the cinnamon, the nutmeg. I threw in. I know it needs. I know it needs molasses. So I had some molasses, poured some of that in. Now I've got all the liquid done. And then I just started adding flour until it absorbed it. Why work hard? What do we know? Basically, a cookie is made up of a couple of things. Trying to remember if I used an egg for that. Egg for pastry. I don't think I used. Or did I? Good question. Something tells me that might be why it was a bit stronger than normal. The other thing, do any of you have makeup? This is like a powder container. I buy this particular brand of setting powder. It is awesome for dusting cookies. Right? And so I have different ones. One with icing sugar, one, and as I finish one, I just start a collection. Good idea. It's a good quality product. I just took it and I ran it through the dishwasher a couple of times. I got it good and clean, and then I started to use it that way. Wow. JD's saying, did I know that chocolate-covered apricots have gone up in price to $38 a pound? So here is a good idea, right? Think about chocolate-covered anything. Who doesn't like chocolate? And if you don't want to do just chocolates or make chocolates, but everybody likes dried fruit. Most people can eat some. So, you can do chocolate dipped raisins, chocolate dipped apricots, chocolate, pieces of apricot. You don't have to do it, but it's way cheaper than buying them, that's for sure. Icing sugar in a mason jar. I've got a feeling it'll be alive after I am. This sugar, because I kept it, by the way, sugars, first of all, lasts forever. And then it's in my deep freeze. All right. And quite honestly, I keep a little tub of sugar. By the way, reusing a yogurt thing, I keep a little tub of sugar out in case I have visitors that eat sugar. But the big bag, that's my bag from last year. All right. And that was after I did the baking. And it's going back in the deep freeze. And this, well, maybe I'll keep it out while we're doing the baking, but other than that, it will go back. Over the last few months, I have been stocking up on chocolate. Good night, Emma. Good. All right. I've got chocolate chip things here. I've got bulk here. I've got my favorite good quality Belgian chocolate that Jody always talks about here. I've got 2 of each color. I got milk chocolate and the milk. And these are the ones that I make other things from. All right. But there's more. These are pure white chocolate chips. Pure white chocolate chips. Keep them away from the oven. These are toffee bits. These are semi-sweet chocolate. My absolute favorite, salted caramel. And I've just got rather a lot, so I'm going to enjoy those this year. got nuts. And I wondered if any of you would like to see my version of turtles. Do any of you make your own turtles? So easy to do. All right, so Emma, Jenny is saying, I tried making those apricots, but found that one apricot was not of the best quality, so the taste wasn't good enough. Well, yeah, I mean, this is, you got to experiment. So I thought I'd show you what I do to make turtles, okay? The first thing I need is a container. I'm now going to remember where I put things because they're not where I expect them to be, right? And so I'm going to use a silicone cupcake because that makes it contained and it'll end up the right shape. Let's just do a couple of them. I bought some pecan bits in bulk from my local store. So what I'm looking for are the bigger bits, and I'm just going to put them like feet at the bottom. Am I making sense here, people? Okay, so I'm just putting 4. It's a little bit challenging in this size, apparently. Well, what do we all love about turtles? It is the taste. So what I will do is I'll put that lot in there and I'll do 1 here just so you can see. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's use this one here. Okay, so then the next thing that turtles have is caramel. Now you've got 2 ways of doing that. There are 2 different ways of doing it. Number 1 is you could cheat. And you could all right, now I thought those were my soft caramels and they're not, they're my hard ones. So let's think, we could cheat. I know how we could cheat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take now it's still not melted enough. So what I'm going to do is to take a container. Hold on 1 second, people. Just going to see if I can melt it down quickly. So here's what I would recommend, right? Basically, I'm just going to drizzle some chocolate on top. This chocolate's really difficult to melt, apparently. I'll have to go to my good quality one soon. All right, I think. So then we just put some chocolate on top. Okay. Now, I didn't have the caramel I thought I did, so what I have got is some salted caramel bits. So just going to take a couple of those, stick those on top. I just want to give you the idea. Oh, all right, and then put a bit more chocolate on top. Okay, now I found a hole. And all I'm doing is I'm pushing the chocolate up a bit, away from the legs. This actually looks more like a Christmas hedgehog right now. But you get the idea? Let me just see what's here. You've never made turtles. They're great fun to make, Jody, and they taste wonderful. The other thing you could do, all right, this is plan B, and I probably should show you this. I've got one of these small silicone molds for ice cubes, but I never use it for ice cubes. I use it for chocolate. So here's what I do. Get some more chocolate going. Okay, I will just put some chocolate in the bottom. And then push it to the sides. Let me just show you here. Get the idea? Leaving a hole in the bottom. And then if you want really soft caramels, get some caramel ice cream topping. Taste test. And there we have it. Now what I will do, okay, put that in the fridge, let it set up. Once it's set up, which would probably take about half an hour, if I just did the one, normally I'll do a whole set of them, all right? And I'll do that this evening. Let it set up. Then I put out the pecan bits, turn that onto the top of it, and then drizzle chocolate all over the top. And then I've got that shape. Easy? By the way, I've never had anybody return them. They're a big hit. I would say they are as big a hit in their own way as the chocolate covered. It's interesting. Everybody, says they don't like sugar or whatever, but I've never had anybody return the chocolate covered marshmallows or the turtles. That's why they're my go-tos. So, any questions? I'm pretty certain you all get the idea, right? I'll put that in the fridge now and see if we can pop it out by the end. And I want to move that out of the way. Put this back. Now, the reason I'm not worried about doing it all perfectly for you is because I got very creative people. What I wanted to give you was some ideas of what you can do quickly and easily. Okay, let's put the nuts away. And that's interesting. Yeah, right in front of me. No wonder I can't find it. Taste testing is always the fun part of baking. I'm just going to put that in the fridge like this. I've now got chocolate on my fridge. Everywhere. Right, now then, the thing, how are we doing on time? The thing that I wanted to show you, not a whole lot. Maybe I won't show you, maybe I will allow you to sort of sort it out for yourself, but I want to talk through it. Jeannie mentioned a really good basic recipe, sugar cookie recipe done by Ree Drummond, I think it is. Am I right? I printed it out for you. Yeah. So this is what it's called. Right? And let me tell you how easy it is. All right. Or when I say easy, it's got a lot of ingredients in it. But here is the upside of it. I would recommend, if you're not going to make that many cookies, make this basic sugar cookie, a good quality one. And thank you to Ree Drummond for having one. And then get creative. You've seen some of the different things I have got here. So I just wanted to talk through these things before. So you know that I have got lots of things I can add to cookies, right? we've got sprinkles, we've got caramels, we've got, I will be making chocolates. By the way, this whole bag is full of chocolate molds. Jeannie was mentioning bark. I keep interesting looking containers. This is from one of my crackers that I eat regularly, but I like the container because I can put chocolate in here and it make a really nice bark that I can break up, right? Not too much of it, but just enough. So I can put some of I've got lots of nuts here, almonds and walnuts and pecans and things. So I can drop those in and have that, okay? I can do another one that maybe has bits of candy cane on it. Good idea? So that's a container for bark. I've got 2 of them, I think. Then, I can't remember what exactly came in here, but it must have been really nice chocolates, I would think, thin chocolates. But I really love that shape, right? So I kept that. These are the really fun ones, but this is what I call a Jody type mold, all right? And what I did is I took different color, I took white chocolate and then I melted it, put in different colorings. And then I made these little snowmen. You see them? Using, I started with the icing sugar on top, right? I made icing of all those different colors that I needed. And I wanted, you can start with the eyes and the nose, and then you put in the mouth, and then everything you put in different order. And then the very last thing I put in was chocolate to fill it up. Really nice. Those are my Valentine's Day ones. These are just what I call my regular chocolate mold. And I will do different flavors in each shape. This I have never regretted having. This is what I call make things pretty on top of a cupcake or something else mold, right? So you can just make a chocolate leaf or a chocolate ring, a zigzag, and stick it in the top of something, not throwing it away. Now, I love these as well because they've got the pattern on them. These came with shapes of starfishes and things. And these I've collected over the years just when, I bought something and that's what was at the bottom and I went, oh, I like that. And that's one of my regular ones. I normally put, I tell you what I normally put in there. I'll cut up some, I'll put in a layer of chocolate all around it first, and I'll put in I'll cut up little bits of mint chocolate and put it in and then cover it with chocolate again. Good idea? Very easy to do. So this is part of my work this week. And, isn't that clever? Very fancy tweezers. They don't belong there. So, question, do I need all these molds? No. But now this is where Jody knows me really well. And I'm going to talk to Jody for a second because she will tell me probably the truth on this. Jody, when I talk about making chocolates, does my energy change? You always notice when I'm talking about something. The reason I say that is, it's like the Marie Kondo thing, right? If this thing gives you great pleasure, don't throw it away. I just find a better way to store it. But now what I'm doing is I'm putting all the light things into one big plastic bag. There is a change, as I had a feeling there probably was, and I didn't do it intentionally. I just know that I love making the chocolates. I also have a bag of bags, plastic bags, right? Because when I've made the chocolates, I put each chocolate or 2. Normally I will do 2 of each and I'll put them in their own bag so that, they are sort of fairly healthy that way. And over the year, every time I go to the dollar store, I'll buy a different size set of bags, right? So I've got everything from, this size, small ones for individual ones, up to this size, which would be a bag of bags. All right. Yes, there you go. Kez is saying, I bought from a local secondhand bookstore a cookie collection by Linda Dorset, 50 kinds of cookies from one dough. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. That's how I want to end this, because it is really important for us to realize you don't need to keep making different doughs, right? You just need to understand what is cookie dough, all right? And then expand on it. So now I've got a second bag of bags. These are specifically Christmas bags. Now, have I got way too many bags? Yes. So I knew not to buy any bags this year, but I've got enough probably to last me my lifetime. So let us presume that we had made that basic dough. What have I got lots of? Nuts, chocolate, candied peel, candied fruit. And I've got different sorts of chocolate. I've got semi-sweet, I've got milk chocolate, I've got white chocolate. I've got all sorts of options. So can you understand that I need one day? That's all I need. One day. I've had this oven on ready to cook cookies for you, but I'm not going to do it, am I? One day of just making candies, and probably in the new year I'll do cupcakes, because some people I will see at Christmas time, and some people I will see again, maybe round about New Year. So I'm going to do a little of both. For those of you, I want you to get clever here. Think about how many cupcakes and Christmas treats do you need this week? All right. And the reason I say that is, remember my trick. Wonder if I forgot my trick here. Oh, it's empty. That's good. Okay, so what I will do is I will get a big jar like this, and I will put in here cake mix. And what do we know? Cake mix, all you need to put with it is one egg. One egg and maybe a little bit of water, and you have then got great cupcakes. Or if you want to, spread them out and they make even cookies. All right. And I have got a lot of chocolate in the pantry. And so I'm going to be making maybe chocolate mint cookies, because what if I what if I mix this in with the chocolate cake and then make cookies out of it? You understand what I'm trying to do here? Is let's get creative. Use what you've got. I have got all sorts of different additives. I've got chocolate chips. I want to make salted caramel, basic dough, and then add the salted caramel, because I love salted caramel. Kez is saying, how about using herbs for savory ones? Yes, I will be doing, I had a special order to do oatmeal raisin, and all I will do is use my, hang on. I know it's here. Okay, I will, there we go, right in front of me. All right, I have an oatmeal muffin mix, and I will just mix this up a little bit more solid with some raisins in it, and instantly done. Very quick. And to make it special, maybe dip one half in white chocolate. Right? Think about that. Yeah. There's your Christmas bit. And maybe a couple of sprinkles on the bit that I dip into chocolate. So, you look at it and go, there's so many creative ways to do this, but you need the time to do it. So, I have to say that particular chocolate doesn't melt the same way as my good quality one. So I'm going to need to add maybe, what would you add to it? A little bit of coconut oil to make it more liquid, or a little bit of liquid. Maybe it needs a little bit of milk or something with it. Anybody know? What do you add to chocolate when it's not melting enough? I can't see that milk would do it any harm. But, I've got coconut oil as well, I think. Yeah. So, for example, if you think about making those cookies, the cookie dough, you could sprinkle cocoa in. Make one batch, roll it out, sprinkle cocoa powder on it, and then roll it up and cut it. You could do another batch where you roll it out and put cinnamon, raisins and cinnamon in them, and roll it up and then cut it and make really nice cinnamon raisin cookies. You can make just about anything you like. I'm going to make some that have got candied fruit in them. Why? I've got it, and plenty of it, and I need to use it up. And so here we go. I'm not sure if this is hard enough. This probably is. What did I do with it? Do that thing. Okay, it's not quite solid enough, but you get the idea. There is your turtle. And it needs probably another hour in the fridge. But I enjoyed the taste testing. Simple ideas. Very simple ideas. So I'm going to make more chocolates than I probably normally would. And people will either eat them or not, and I don't mind. Why? Most of it is to help me downsize what I've got in my Christmas box. Do you all understand that as I pack this away, I will be saying only half of it can go back? And every year, it would be a good idea for me to say that. Jody, how long does... We know sugar is basically everlasting. What I will do for my friends that I know have diabetes, I will mix half sugar and half stevia. All right, so I can tell them it's not all sugar. And so that they can enjoy it. And I look at it, it's like there's so many different ways that you can do this. So many creative ways, and you don't need fancy recipes. You don't need all sorts of things. You just need to know you can use it. By the way, what I have left over, I am going to try and not put back in the box, because what I want to do is to make my own cookies and things from it and use it up this year, and then buy new next year. Right? Because I know some of this stuff has been here for a couple of years. It was here before. It's warm. It was here before the fire. So, question: is it really a baking nightmare, or have I actually, depending on what I do now, have I actually already pre-sorted a lot of it? Have I already seen what needs to go away and what needs to stay? And as I clean up this evening, I was just thinking, how many of you have done this as well and very popular? I take mandarin oranges and cover them in chocolate. All right. But it's just like they're soft and everybody loves the taste of mandarin orange. What I try and do, though, is make little labels so everybody knows what they're about to eat. They know it's not a hard candy inside, which is really important for most people. So I will just say a chocolate-covered mandarin orange piece, or chocolate with crushed nuts. I do crushed nuts rather than whole nuts because, again, it's easier on people's teeth. Yes, Jody's saying it's not a nightmare. I just needed to sort it all out. And as you can see, as I put it in categories, it makes a lot more sense. All right, what it needed and still needs is, all of those plastic bags need to go into one bigger plastic bag that contains all the plastic bags. Done. All right. I definitely have way too many cupcake things because I use the silicone ones. I don't use the regular ones. I can donate all of those. I can look at it and go, I've got a lot of chocolate and a lot of additives. I'm going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to make some this evening. The problem is not to eat them. Jody, I want to finish with something that Jody tried this week, and it was so clever. Okay. Let me just show you what she did. What did I do with my, here it is. All right, you can still see here, right? So here's my piece of dough. And I'm going to make some of these for later, but what she did is she rolled out the dough. I'm quite looking forward to using this one now, Jody. It worked this year. Apparently, it likes a looser dough than I normally make, because that's rolling beautifully this year. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, so what she did is she made a dough. She cut it out. Okay. And she baked it. But when it came out of the oven, this is the clever bit. What did I do with them? When it came out of the oven, this is so cute. I can't wait to do this, Jody. She took a marshmallow. Again, get the idea. All right. She cut it in half. And then she stuck it in the center, like so. Get the idea? And then put it back in the oven for 2 minutes, was it, Jody? So now you've got this marshmallow ginger cookie. And when it got out of the oven, then she covered it with chocolate and sprinkles or whatever you like. Now, how many of you are going, that sounds such fun? So, Jody, that's what I have this ready for. Please notice the size of the... Jody, do you use egg for... I can't remember if I put egg in here or not. I don't think you use egg in a basic recipe for... Where's that basic recipe? That would tell us, wouldn't it? Sugar cookies. I'm pretty certain it doesn't have an egg. Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, I was right. I did start with an egg. That's what I thought. Anyway, so Jody, please notice I only made this much dough. You know why? Because if I make a whole thing of dough of this, I will eat it tonight. But what I will do is while I'm baking these, I will make the dough for the other ones I'm going to have. So I think that's so clever, Jody, and it looks so good. Again, I'm going to use it with a ginger cookie, but Jody made hers with a chocolate cookie. I will try some, Jody, with the chocolate cake mix I've got to make those sort of type cookies, because I need to use up that chocolate cake. Or maybe just make the cupcake, put a hole, and then put the marshmallow inside. That would be a nice idea too. Got a lot of marshmallows. So there we go. Have you enjoyed this? Was it fun? I hope. Can you see that what is a nightmare has helped me automatically, downsize stuff? When I spend the rest of the evening tidying up my kitchen, I will also be making chocolates. Because what I will do is, make the little batches of chocolate and then make them as I go along. I will be making turtles on here while I tidy up the rest of the kitchen. And by the time it's time to go to bed tonight, I hopefully will have a whole lot of chocolates made, for which I will just need to make the little labels so people will know what they're eating. And then, how many of you can see that these make great chocolate molds as well? These ice cube trays, think about that. I think you all know that if it's silicone, you can use it in the toaster oven or the oven. I will make the cake bits in here, all right? I will just make up a cake mix and I will just fill up 1 or 2 of these and then completely make them, cover them with chocolate or icing, and then stick them on a pop stick. Okay, I got plenty of them. I normally cut the pop sticks in half, or I've got some pretty big ones. I cut maybe 3. What is my biggest challenge this evening? Is it tidying up my kitchen? No. What do you know will be my biggest challenge tonight? If you know me well, which you do. Getting any of it wrapped up and ready to put away. By the way, if you are making cupcakes, I won't be doing that today, quite honestly, now that I think about it, because cupcakes only last, I think they can last a couple of days. I probably will make some. I've got to go somewhere on Christmas Eve for carol singing, so I'll make 1 set there on Christmas Eve to take with me. I'm also taking a salad. But then, what I will do is just keep, as I said, I will keep the mixture in a container like this, all ready to go, knowing all I need to do is put about 2 cups of this or a cup of this and an egg, and I've got, the right makings for a mixture. I can then add a little bit of cinnamon to them, or nutmeg, or whatever I want to do, extra cocoa, you name it. I can add all sorts of things to it when I mix it up and change the taste. Okay? But these will all be my chocolate type things. And I can you've seen me do it, right? I can cook these in the microwave in 2 minutes. Done. So what I will do now, could I make them and put them in my freezer? Yep, if I had room in my freezer. So I'm going to be doing it the old-fashioned way this year, because my freezer is full of a lot of other stuff, as you know. All right, everybody. First of all, I wanted to say I have to be out next Friday, so there'll be no broadcast next Friday. But I will do the Sunday broadcast, because Sunday will be New Year's Eve. Am I right? Where's my phone? Hang on, let me see here. I think Sunday is New Year's Eve. And normally we like to do one if we can. Yeah. Now, so if everybody is happy with that. Yeah, Jody's saying I couldn't fit a Tic Tac in our freezer right now. Mine is the same, Jody. I am literally pounding it down a bit as I put things in. And I'd love to tell you that it's stuff I'm going to need. I've got to take a lot of stuff out of there. I've got bread in there that needs to come out. It's been there too long. I've got vegetables that have been in there too long, and that's going to make a whole lot more space. So what I'm going to be doing is bag by bag, taking it out and reorganizing my freezer. This is a good time of the year to do it. By the way, do it at night so you can take stuff out and just quickly put it out on. I'm going to put mine out on my deck quickly and hope that the critters don't get to it before I finish doing what I'm doing. And then I will just reorganize everything in my freezer. But that's New Year project, not now. This is Dear Mama Sal. I've had fun doing this. Thank you. And what was a nightmare hopefully will now make some more sense to me. Plus, I'm going to have it packed in different containers, so I now know where to go when I want the things that I want. I will know where to go for chocolate. I will know where to go for cupcake liners and all those things. And it won't be messing up my kitchen because I know 90% of this is what I call once a year baking. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Jody, for the help. Thank you, Jeannie, as well, for helping do the research here. And know that this is up to me whether this becomes stressful or joy. This is Dear Mama Sal saying bye-bye for now.